Is this oil, moisturizer, or are you just that?
I don't know, just naturally
have that natural
glisten.
sheen.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Jodie Comer.
And I'm Austin Butler.
And we're here doing Notes on a Scene with Vanity Fair for the Bikeriders.
You see that? They're planning something. Look at all of them whispering over there.
So the scene we're about to watch is the moment in the movie where Kathy, my character, and Benny, Austin's character, they meet for the first time, and it's Kathy's initial introduction to the Vandals as a whole. Okay, so this is the one and only Tom Hardy.
Exactly.
And Tom is the, I guess, the king of the
king.
He's the leader of the Vandals.
The leader of the pack.
He's the top dog. So here we have many members of the Vandals, played by Boyd, Emery, Bo, and Carl. And these guys were incredible. I feel like
amazing.
Whenever we were in these scenes, Jeff was often asking them to essentially improvise. And I feel like I was constantly overhearing all the stuff that they were coming up with. And I feel like they really created a little bromance. There was a lot of love going on here.
There's a lot of love. There's a lot of love.
Yeah.
I love this, what Carl's wearing here. It's just the vest with nothing else.
Yeah, oh yeah, because Kathy makes that comment. In the real audio of Kathy, one of her like vivid memories was that these guys had their belly button showing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She's like, I walked into this bar and these guys had their belly button showing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's quite a fashion
No, they
choice.
were all wonderful.
Oh, I'm gonna go. And that's when I seen Benny. Standing over at the pool table.
When I first met Jeff, he'd sent the script and then made me aware that he had like 30 minutes of audio interviewing her in the 1960s. And I knew she was from North Chicago, but a lot of her vowel sounds were total contradictions. So it wasn't about like doing a great Chicago accent. It was just about kind of like dissecting it and trying to get the cadence right. She spoke very quickly. She was always on to the next thought while she was speaking about one thing. But yeah, some brilliant accents in this.
That was the difference in my process was, and in a way it's freeing when you don't have any reference, but it also, then I had to sort of figure out, well, how does Benny fit into the tapestry of the whole project? And so I learned a lot about Benny from what everybody else said about him, because he was never interviewed.
I feel like this is a very iconic shot, right? This is the moment where Kathy sets her eyes on Benny for the first time. And she always kind of spoke about how when she set her eyes on him, she was like, oh my God, who is this guy? You know, she's about to leave the bar and is stopped in her tracks and then goes back to her seat. So she doesn't miss out. But yeah, I mean, the cinematography is so incredible.
Adam Stone. And this moment as well is directly influenced by, in the photography book, there's an image of Benny, and you just see the top of his head, but he's leaning over the pool table, and so that's this moment that we're capturing.
And then we've got your Benny tattoo.
Yeah, yeah. Just in case I forget my name.
Which someone might do.
It just reminds me who I am.
Such an incredible shot. Yeah. Do you remember the kind of like glass panes that were in the windows? And it had the pool table, the jukebox.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It was very, it felt very authentic. Like it was, you kind of felt like you'd step back in time. It was beautiful what the team had done.
Boy, who's that good-looking guy over at the pool table? Oh.
I love your reaction in this moment, because I couldn't see, I was so far away I couldn't quite tell. And the reaction on your face is just always tickles me.
Well, I didn't think I'd spoken to Danny Lyon until we were on the shoot on set, and I actually think he came to set when we were shooting the scene, because it was a huge ensemble scene, so everybody was in. And I just remember him saying that Kathy was very smart, you know, she was kind of underestimated, but that she was smarter than them all. Yeah,
and I think he told me that Benny was beautiful, but very dumb. If I remember correctly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Kathy, you don't want to go out with him.
Why not? He don't look like the rest of these animals.
Because nobody wants to go out with him.
Why?
Because he cracks up on his bike. Every time he gets up on his bike, he has an accident.
Oh, okay.
Let me get you a pop.
Hey. Oh yeah, so this moment.
This is a
This
great
was, so Tom was sitting over, he's like sitting over here. And yeah, there he is. And he drew some angry eyebrows. So that's Tom with his spiky hair. And we were rehearsing the scene.
Making it
And
worse.
I still don't know if he was joking the first time he said it, but he said, you gotta turn the chair around.
Yeah.
And, because we were figuring out how I was gonna come up and see you.
Because he kind of, the whole plan was that Benny kind of sneaks up. But, you know, he kind of comes and
like
she hasn't
unexpectedly
seen him.
shows up and says hello. And he told me to turn the chair around. And I took it as a challenge and I said, oh, I'm gonna turn that chair around. I'm Benny.
Hello?
Love your reaction here. These little eye movements that you do are so good.
Well, so what are we doing here? Just, shooting the breeze?
Oh, God, the smoking. Like,
Yeah.
so much smoking in this film. Like, these sets absolutely stunk. There was like a hue everywhere you went, you know, like a kind of just mist of like the smoke was being so contained in this tiny little bar, which is, I guess, very real and true to what it would have been like.
Let's talk about Erin.
Yes.
A brilliant costume designer. I mean, every detail, from what we're wearing to everybody that you see in the background, she thought about every detail here.
I mean, what was great with Erin was, I mean, she already has, I mean, she's so talented and she herself has such an innate sense of style and kind of instinct. So what was really fun was when we met for the first time, we just kind of chatted about the images that we had. Like, I think I had 3 images of Kathy at the time. And, you know, she asked me what I noticed, or was there anything that I felt was really kind of necessary, that I wanted. And there were some things like Kathy loved the tank. Loved texture. You know, everything was kind of fuzzy or ribbed or, you know, really kind of lived in. Her pants always looked like they were a little bit ill-fitted. You know, a lot of the images of the women in Danny's work, you know, they were just immaculately kind of dressed, whether it be, you know, makeup or clothing. And Kathy was always a little bit messy, a little bit undone, you know, looked like she'd kind of either come off the back of a bike or had been carrying her kids and the kids had been pulling at her kind of beehive. And so it was those kinds of things that we really wanted to keep.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I gotta go home.
Okay. You gotta go.
I remember this bit when she's like, I gotta go home. And you're like, go on then. You know, it's kind of like that moment of like, go on then. And she and she just stays
But
there.
then you don't move.
No. And then
Yeah,
he
you gotta go.
goes. And then she's like, oh, God.
One thing that I love when Jeff talks about is the idea of nostalgia. The nostalgia for a time and an environment that doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, some of what he was capturing with this is even as time goes on and these characters are now older, you know, how they would look back on this time in life.
When Kathy falls in love with Benny, she falls in love with all, you know, everything about him in a sense of his kind of, he's not tethered to anything, you know, he's very free and does his own thing, and there's a mystery there and an allure, and over time those are the things that end up causing her quite a lot of friction as the group becomes a little bit more kind of engulfed in crime. And I think as a result of that, she kind of wants to take him away from the Vandals. You know, I guess for them to, you know, experience love in a different way, and for her to have him around her more kind of selfishly, but from a good place. So yeah.
Great.